a multitude of days of deliberating whether or not I should do a gear review, found that gear review videos tend to be a bit more popular. Now, my personal opinion on gear reviews is they're personal opinions, or they're sponsored. And I really do not like sponsorships when it comes to gear reviews. If somebody sends a free product to them, that's great. But personally, I think that it's a little suspect because people get free gear, and gear is incredibly expensive. When you see somebody with a big Agnes tent, that's like a $600 to $1,000 tent, you know? It's not cheap. So when I'm making this gear review video, I want people to understand that this is stuff that I personally have purchased, that I personally think are absolutely essential to take on your trip, and are just my favorite products. So here we go. My top 5 pieces of gear that I recommend anybody getting. Let's get into it. Let's start with my number 5. This is a piece of gear that has virtually replaced my Nalgene bottle now on all my trips that I go on. It is one of my favorite pieces of gear overall, and it's just pretty nice. I'm going to show you what I believe is the future. This is a hard plastic water bag. It is not a water bottle. It is not a smart water bottle, even though I do carry one smart water bottle. But this has, for the most part, replaced my CamelBak. It's a hard plastic bag. I've fallen directly on it. I really enjoy this product. I've used it now on more than 4 camping trips, and each one of those 4 was 2, and there was 1 3-day trip. So this has been an amazing bag. It has held up very well. The criticisms I hear from people about using one of these is, what if it pops? Well, in all honesty, yeah, I mean, I guess that's a realistic thing. But you know what? Carrying an extra 2 of these is still probably lighter than carrying a Nalgene bottle. So the likelihood that you're gonna pop an additional 2 more over a Nalgene bottle is a little silly to me. Another thing that people like to kind of doubt on these is the fact that you can't put hot water in here, which, in my personal opinion, I've never done that hot water bottle trick. I think that trick sounds very interesting if you're in very cold temperatures and you put a hot water bottle in your tent, but I just don't really see that many people actually doing that. I've seen people camping, I just have not really seen people do that trick. I mean, I personally think that some YouTubers just say things because it works, not because it's practical. And in my personal opinion, I'm not going to use the gas from my stove to practically heat up my sleeping bag with heated up water in a Nalgene bottle. I'm just gonna get warm naturally. You know, I'm gonna eat hot food. I'm gonna just maybe work up a sweat a little. But, you know, let's get back to this. This thing is fantastic. It holds 2 liters, but realistically it could hold up to 2.5 liters. It's extremely lightweight, and it's very convenient to carry. So this is my number 5 product. Now let's go to my next one. All right. My next product, which people are going to criticize me on because it is overkill. This is a B3 winter boot. I got this used from a doctor. And you know what? You can get a lot of these used cheaper than brand new B2 boots. Now, do you need a B3 boot? Absolutely not. B3 boots are not necessary in SoCal, but I'm gonna say one thing. This is a warm boot. This is a really dang warm boot, and La Sportiva makes an incredibly lightweight product. Now, lightweight is subjective because this is heavy. This is a heavy boot, man. But saying that, I haven't gotten frostbite in these. I haven't gotten cold feet in these, and they haven't really been as uncomfortable as people would have believed. So why is this on my number 4? Because this has been something that has pretty much saved me in the cold temperatures. Now, can you use a B2 boot? Yeah, you should probably be using a B2 boot over this, but I'm just going to say snow boots, ice boots, mountaineering boots are an absolute necessity. This is my number 4. If La Sportiva sponsored me, I would absolutely take their sponsorship. No shame. I personally see so many weird reviews of La Sportiva's mixed quality and mixed this. I think that most people that do mountaineering are Priscilla's, and they'll see one little freckle on their product and they'll go, you know what, I was beating the absolute heck out of my gear and I scratched it and I damaged it, and I expect no damage at all. And the truth is that the shoes that don't receive damage easily are either too stiff or they aren't made soft enough. The shoes that receive it extremely easily are obviously not the greatest products, but the shoes that are like La Sportivas are pretty valid. And I really like these boots. They're just really warm, they're really nice, and they're a good product. So that's my number 4 gear. So if you want to get a B2 or you want to get a B3 boot for the ice, I would absolutely recommend La Sportiva because they are one of the best in my personal opinion. So let me go to the next thing. Alright, my next piece of gear is something that's going to definitely ruffle some feathers because everybody knows the climbing community. If you don't have $4,000 worth of gear on your back, you're clearly not a professional. Well, I'm gonna make some people mad by saying these Ozark Trail hiking poles are by far the best value for any hiking pole product on the market right now. They are better than Black Diamond, they are better than whatever carbon fiber poles. Look, these poles, I believe, when I got this on sale, I got this combination of 2 for $20. They were on sale, on clearance, for $10 a piece. These have done every single major famous hike in Southern California, from San Gorgonio to Mount Whitney to San Antonio and San Jacinto. I mean, these have been everywhere. They've been from the beach, they've been to the sea. You know, these are by far one of the best hiking poles you can buy. And people are going to quote and say, yeah, they're not stable or they don't lock in place. I've never had an issue with this losing. It's what I set it at. It is a phenomenal product. Ozark Trail makes a really great hiking pole. And, you know, I mean, they're not crazy scratched up. You know, I mean, they kind of are scratched up. I mean, you know, but they keep their life. They have a replaceable tip. And you know what? You want to say, well, I can buy a good pair of Leckies for $90. Okay. I guess you can buy a good pair of Leckies for $90, and they have a lifetime warranty on the gear. You know what you could also get for $90? You can get like literally 4 pairs of these. After taxes on those Leckies, I mean, I have not broken these yet. And the Leckies don't have a lifetime warranty on everything. Then people are going to say they're not as light as other poles. I wouldn't beg to differ. I took a pair of Leckies as a rental, and I would say that these are exactly the same weight. I didn't notice. These are one of the best products, I would say, by far. They are so good for the money. They are amazing. They are cheap. They are lightweight. They are, I mean, they're good. And Ozark Trail sometimes makes just great products at random. And, you know, that's going to be my number 3 because these are just awesome. So this next product is going to be a little confusing because it's going to be brands. So I'm going to say something right off the gate. I'm a big North Face and Arc'teryx fan. I was not a believer in the Arc'teryx craze. Now, believe me, Arc'teryx is so expensive. They are ridiculous. I'm wearing their shirt right now. But I would be damned if I would lie about it not working. This is one of the best thermal layers that a human, a living human, can buy. Now, I say living human. I don't know why I said that. But also, North Face. North Face makes a great product. I got these from Ross. I've never been able to find these again once I bought them from Ross, but these are a pair of mountaineering snow gloves that are just wonderful. They're just amazing. And I have a pair of North Face pants, and I got a pair of Arc'teryx jackets. So here's the truth. I'm putting this in 2 because it's too broad to put in its own, you know, this and this and that. The truth is that I'm just going to say things. Certain brands do make really good products. The North Face makes pretty dang good gloves and clothing. I really, really like, I have a pair of North Face pants and I like them. And if people were going to say, Jed, what pair of pants would you recommend me? Look, I got the G1000s, the famous G1000s from Fjallraven that everybody wears on the trail. You will see every bougie hiker. Here's my issue. One, yeah, they're waterproof with wax, which is natural, but one of my issues is it's heavy and it's not breathable. And here's the thing. Fjallraven prices their stuff as if it's the best. Now, Fjallraven is good, but it is not the best. But they price their stuff as if it's the best. While I do believe they make a really good product, I don't believe that their prices are justified. I think that their product is not the greatest. Now people are going to say, you're going to say North Face is nicer. Yes, I am going to say North Face is nicer because North Face is lighter, it's more comfortable. Have you stretched in a pair of G1000s that are actually fitting to your side? Yeah, they have stretchy parts. That's the only part that stretches though. Everything else grips to your leg, sucks for climbing, and the zippers on the side of those G1000s come undone all the time. I mean, there's going to be people that are going to say that the G1000s are the best pants ever to be created and that there's nothing bad that can be said about them. I have not had a comfortable time in them. And you know what? A lot of people haven't either. So when it comes to brands, why I'm putting a whole category into what it is because some brands, in my opinion, just make a really good product. And for me, the majority of North Face products and all the Arc'teryx products that I've tried so far, Arc'teryx is expensive, but Arc'teryx is really the best in my opinion. I don't really think that there's really something that can surpass them in comfort and wearability. They are the nicest. Besides that, La Sportiva, I'm a huge La Sportiva fan. And you know, the North Face has become a very trendy brand. I understand people are going to say the North Face, but there's, you know, I didn't finish that sentence. They're going to say the North Face is a trend brand. They don't make good products anymore. I think there's two sides of the North Face. There's the North Face like actually for outdoors, and then there's the North Face for, okay, this is a Asian foreign exchange student coming in from China, whose parents probably earn money in a very suspicious way. And, you know, I mean, I think that the North Face makes a really good product. So does Arc'teryx too. So that's number two. And number one is might surprise you or might not. So let's get into it. Number one product is going to probably be no surprise to some people or a surprise to some people. And it's going to be the Garmin InReach. Look, some people will see the Garmin InReach, and I've seen videos saying like the truth behind the Garmin InReach. I personally have shut off YouTube recommendations for gear and everything like that because according to everyone, everything is either bad, or everything is either good, or everything everybody should try, or there's some evil secret conspiracy behind every single piece of gear. Your gear is poisoning you. Your gear is turning you into a frog. Your gear is doing this or that. Well, having a GPS is a necessity. I don't care what people say about a GPS or about you don't know how rescue works. Paying for the subscription for the Garmin InReach, even though it sucks, is a necessity. And the Garmin InReach is truly the king of GPS locators. It is by far the most sound of mind product you can get. When I go on trips, I make sure to tell people what I'm going to do. Hey, I'm going to do this. If I change my plans, I text them on my Garmin InReach. I will not have connection, but you know what? I will text them on my Garmin InReach. Here's my change of plans. Here's where I'm going. I don't make a sudden decision out of nowhere without making sure to tell somebody, hey, you know, this is my route. This is where I'm going. This is my GPS location. These are the conditions. This is how it is. And you know what? Having the Garmin InReach is a peace of mind device. This is a device that not only puts you at peace, but it lets others be at peace. Let's be real. If you are somebody that is actually doing hardcore hiking, somebody's going to worry about you. Whether it be your mom, your spouse, whoever, they are going to worry about you. And having this is definitely a peace of mind device because it will put them and you at ease. Not to mention that this device could also be used for if you're lost. And it's really good. So, you know, it's got its classic GPS SOS on the side. It can text. It uses the Garmin app. You can pay for search and rescue, kind of like insurance through it. You can, message people pretty regularly for a fee. I believe if you pay a lot, it'll be free, but I'm a broke boy and I don't use this every single day. Maybe if I was somebody going on a 4-month hike, I would pay the couple $100s for the most premium of premium. But, you know, this product is worth it. Now they are coming out with a newer one that's supposed to be superior, that's supposed to have some new feature. And if you don't want to buy this, that's okay. But if you can buy this, I absolutely recommend you do. This is the #1 product I would carry if I was a very big hiker. So, I'm gonna end the video after that because I just think that if I just keep on listing more and more products, there's a lot. And, you know, people are gonna say, why not your backpack? Why not your shoes? And I realize that my backpack and my shoes just kind of don't really always fit everybody. You know, I put my ice boots, but my ice boots, I kind of overlaps that with, you can wear basically any La Sportiva B2 or B3 boot and it'll be nice. But saying that, you know, I can recommend something to people and they could take it or they could just say, I don't like this guy's opinion. Now, I just want to remind everybody that is watching this that I'm not sponsored. I don't have tons of money. I am a mechanic for a living. I do hiking for fun, and I work the graveyard shift, so I'm always dead when I'm going hiking. So just include the products that I have, I feel like are a more realistic representation of the average person going out and hiking, rather than the person that is a nurse, or a doctor, or a computer science major. They're 9 out of 10 times going to be wearing the most bougie gear, but I digress. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that at least you got a little bit of a sense of what kind of gear maybe you would want if you're the average person. Some of my stuff was overkill, some of my stuff is stupid. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you didn't like the video, leave your criticisms down in the comment. I'm going to be done rambling on. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day.